This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
It's nice to see that the Bitcoin price is 90,000 US dollars. I'm joined today by David Lenegas, the chairman of Vinanz PLC. How are you feeling about this, David?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, pretty upbeat. I mean, the whole US elections have really spun this whole Bitcoin discussion around. I've been in the Bitcoin going to $1 million club for a long time. It'll take a fair while to get there, but this is all in the right direction. So I'm feeling quite ebullient.
Oh, excellent. Well, of course, now Vinanz have announced today that they've added another 21 Bitcoin miners to your US fleet in Nebraska. So tell us more about this, David. Could you explain the significance of the 21 new Bitcoin miners and the contribution to the company's overall capacity?
Look, it's more a message about not the quantity of the number of miners that we bought, because I don't know the total number, but I think we're sort of punching up around about sort of 600 miners now throughout our sort of 6 or 7 jurisdictions in North America. But it's about the fact that we continually order new kit that gets installed, and we're ordering every couple of weeks. Slowly but surely, we want to create an empire of Bitcoin mining clusters throughout North America. As I keep saying to people, what's your vision in a year or two's time? I would like to see somewhere between 300 and 500 Bitcoin miners in every US state and every Canadian state within 2 to 3 years, owned by Vinanz and operating in a diversified de-risk scenario. So it's more a message to shareholders that we continue to grow the fleet. 21 miners in itself is not a huge number. It principally increases our Nebraska fleet by about 30%. But I mean, we've only just started in Nebraska.
So, let's just look at Nebraska for a moment there. So what makes it an ideal location for expansion? Now, I know, is it the fact that, you mentioned this in your RNS as well, your hosting partner in Nebraska is also giving you an excellent price of 6.5 cents per kilowatt. Is it the power prices? What is it about Nebraska?
Yeah, look, if our model relies on good, reliable hosting partners, and we've found some very good ones in North America. And Gian at Basic Mining, we've worked with for quite some time, because he was also originally at Luxor, who we principally buy a lot of our new miners from. He set himself up as operating in Nebraska. He's an excellent host. He's got 6.5 US cents a kilowatt hour. And profitability for Bitcoin miners is principally about efficiency, speed, and power price. So, when we wanted to demonstrate that we wanted to continue growing, a phone call to Gian and saying, look, what have you got available on the rack? He says, well, I've just got, you can have 20 of my SJ19Ks, and I've got one left of the S21 super duper, highly efficient and really speedy machines. And I said, well, I'll have them. And 3 days later, we're paid for them, and they're online, and they're now ours. So at the moment, we've got another 10 units coming in of a different variety, different make. Hopefully, they're cleared through customs and installed shortly, and that'll take us to 66 miners in Nebraska, but it's still nothing compared to what we've got installed elsewhere in North America. I mean, Canada is nearly 400 units just by itself, just in one data center.
Yeah. So you're expanding, and you're expanding fast, according to the demands.
Well, I'd like to expand faster, but I think our model is expand slowly but surely. A lot of Bitcoin miners have bitten the dust because they've expanded too quickly. They have visions of grandeur. They buy kit with debt. We're debt free. We expand as we think we can afford it. And there's other areas we want to expand in North America as well. But right now, we've got a bit of a plan for the next sort of 3 to 4 months, and that's really to expand within the networks that we're already in, because we work well with our hosting partners. They can install the machines and hash it to our wallet relatively easy, and we've got payment methods backwards and forwards worked out between ourselves, which is always an issue when you're in the Bitcoin business.
So you mentioned then that, of course, you've got these machines as well at the moment that are going through customs. Now, these are new generation machines. What is it that's different about?
Well, they're different make. I mean, at the moment, everything we've got is Bitmain and miners. And it's, it sort of goes along the lines of de-risking by diversifying. So diversifying with respect to, where we put our Bitcoin miners, which state, which jurisdiction, different power prices between hosting partners. And the other thing we wanted to do is make sure that we don't have all of our eggs in one basket with one Bitcoin machine manufacturer. And these new miners that are coming in, I mean, they're brand new. They're 188 terahash. They're very highly efficient, and we think they're going to mine Bitcoin for us at a very good rate. And obviously, with Bitcoin price punching through $90,000, the profitability of these units is pretty good. So, this is our first order of those, and we'll install them with Gian in Nebraska, and if they operate well and they operate to spec, we'll probably order some more, because they're very, very good value for money.
Yeah. And they're looking at getting through customs in about a week's time, are they?
Well, they're supposed to be going through customs sometime early next week, like Tuesday, Wednesday. But how long's a piece of string? But bringing in new kit into America, it's a machine, it's a computer. It is what it is. But it's been sitting in customs for about a week. Hopefully, it'll be released shortly and sort of online for us and generating some revenue quite shortly.
That's great. Well, I'm going to quote you from your RNS today, David.
Ooh,
said, we feel that we're entering one of the most exciting times ahead for Bitcoin miners, with the Bitcoin price now exceeding $90,000 last week. Now, you also say that post the US elections, your board believes that it's important to keep expanding the fleet in Nebraska. So, of course, you mentioned these machines that are going through customs at the moment, but what are your next steps for expansion?
Well, in Nebraska, I mean, we're only, by the time we get all the machines in through customs and operating for us, it's only about 9 petahash. But, we'd like to be sort of up around about 30, 40, 50 petahash in Nebraska, like we are in Canada. And that's really our model, 300, 400, 500 machines operating in each state, different hosting partners, diversification. So, we'll continually expand there. But that's on the expansion side of Nebraska. To go back to the first part of your question with respect to the quote I put in this morning, I mean, we as a board are really excited about where we see the price of Bitcoin going. Our operating costs are relatively fixed, and the higher the Bitcoin price goes, the more our margin from a P&L perspective. So we found the optimism of the Bitcoin price, as fast as we can. But if you listen to the big financial pundits, in particularly America these days, because now they're trading spot ETFs on Bitcoin, there are some quite rosy projections on where Bitcoin price can be. And when Donald Trump becomes a president of the United States, there's a lot of discussion about the United States really, really supporting the US Bitcoin industry, which could drive the price into a different stratosphere, really. So we're quite excited about it. So we just want to continually expand, 20, 40, 50 units a month. If the opportunity exists, every now and again we might see an opportunity that says, okay, we're going to buy 200, 300 units on a new rollout somewhere else in the United States. So it's just gradually, moving ahead. I remember when we started Vinanz a year and a half ago, we started with 20 Bitcoin miners. I mean, we're now punching up around about 600, I think. So I'd like, if the opportunity said, was there, could we get to 1,000 Bitcoin miners by Christmas time? I'd love to grab that opportunity. Will we get there? I don't know. We'll see. Slowly but surely, 20, 30, 40 Bitcoin miners every few weeks. It all just keeps adding up.
1,000 by Christmas is the aim. Well, do you know what, David? It's wonderful to speak.
That's what I'd like to be at. Yeah, that's what I'd like to be at. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're saying that within a year and a half, you've expanded quite significantly. Started off with, what were you saying there, 20 to 30 machines a year and a half ago?
We started with 20 machines a year and a half ago, yeah. And in fact, those machines are now offline because they're so redundant. They became inefficient. If we probably still had them online now, they might be making a little bit of money. But, Bitcoin miners that are, 3-4 years old really become dinosaurs and probably should be used to start a new offshore reef somewhere. The technology just advances so quickly in leaps and bounds. So, they're for the trash heap, those ones. But, that's why we continually upgrade with more efficient kit than we've got generally throughout the fleet. And that sort of, in our view, keeps us at the cut.
That's great. Well, David, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today at Stockbox. And no doubt we'll be speaking to you about further developments soon.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.